Welcome guys back to another episode of Arsenal Transfer News Daily. Sorry I cannot keep this too long. I'm doing this somewhere else because obviously, as I said yesterday, my circumstances. So let's get straight into today's news. We've got some huge pieces of news as apparently Philippe Coutinho's representatives are in London to complete a move for the Brazilian star. Also, there is news on Thomas Partey as Atletico Madrid have clearly stated that they have to meet the release clause. So let's get straight into the first piece of news, which we will be talking about Philippe Coutinho. Now, this is something that has been rumbling on for a very long time, and we have got a recent update on the news. And the news is that Philippe Coutinho held transfer talks at Arsenal training ground today ahead of a deal. Philippe Coutinho and his representatives were at Arsenal's London Colney training ground on Friday to hold talks over a potential move from Barcelona. The former Liverpool star has been heavily linked with a return to the Premier League. The 20-year-old was shipped out on loan to Bayern Munich last season after struggling to impress at the Nou Camp. Bayern had an option to buy the Brazilian international, however the German giants opted against the deal. Arsenal, Chelsea, Leicester have all been linked with the move for the playmaker, with Coutinho's agent talking about a return to England, obviously Kia Joorabchian being the agent. And according to transfer expert Laith Youssef, he was saying that Arsenal could be closing in on Coutinho after holding talks at their training ground on Friday. He tweeted, "I'm hearing from a trusted source that Philippe Coutinho and his associates have been at London Colney talking to Arsenal today. Coutinho would likely join Arsenal on a loan instead of a permanent deal. Arsenal's transfer kitty was boosted after lifting the FA Cup and booked their place in the Europa League for next season. Mikel Arteta is closing in on the signing of Willian from Chelsea, could also bring in Coutinho from North London. Obviously, Kia Joorabchian has said that he's keen to return from the Premier League and has good links with Arsenal. And he did say, Kia Joorabchian, it's no secret he wants to come back to the Premier League. It's very still much open. There are genuine interest, and Joorabchian does say that decision to push back Champions League could, because he is playing in the Champions League, could delay any deal because Bayern could be involved quite deep in the tournament. So that is the latest news on Philippe Coutinho, and as I said, I do think this will eventually get done. I think a loan deal, Barcelona really want to offload him, and I think Arsenal holding an interest would mean that this deal could happen. And him being at London Colney could sort out a deal before he plays for Bayern Munich in the Champions League. Who knows? Maybe this deal could get done sooner rather than later, but only time will tell. So that is the news that Philippe Coutinho and his associates have apparently been in London Colney to talk to Arsenal about a potential move. Next bit of news is on Thomas Partey, and apparently Arsenal will have to pay Thomas Partey's £45 million release clause to land star as Willian free transfer until 2023 nears. Arsenal will have to pay his release clause in full if they want to land their long-term target. Mikel Arteta has been desperately hunting for some steel in midfield this summer, and earlier this year he had identified Atletico Madrid star Partey as his number one target after another sensational season in Spain and in the Champions League. But the Gunners' boss has been dealt with a huge blow after La Liga giants insisted his release clauses had to be activated, according to many reports. And Fabrizio Romano has said many times, obviously he is the main person around every transfer basically in the world, and he says that they have to pay the release clause Arsenal, which is €50 million, £43 million, and apparently Arsenal are trying to do a deal where they offer a player plus a bit of cash. But apparently Atletico Madrid don't want players, they just want the cash up front. Apparently Atletico Madrid do have some financial problems, so they do want the money up front. Now apparently Atletico Madrid do hold an interest in Lucas Torreira, and Arsenal are going to try use those interests, and Atletico also interested in Matteo Guendouzi, so they're going to try and use those interests to try and make a deal happen. And again, it could happen. Diego Simeone could look at that and say, let's just get it done. I think this will go down to the wire. Arsenal obviously trying to negotiate a buyout clause. I know it's quite stupid, but to Arsenal we do a lot of things like that. We try and penny pinch and do things like that. We are low on money, and we did make 55 staff redundant, so I'm not surprised Arsenal are trying to do this. And I have reported this before, but these news is intensifying. People want to track Thomas Partey updates, but there is no real update. Arsenal are trying to negotiate this release clause, and it just simply will not happen until Arsenal pay that release clause. So that is the news on Thomas Partey, and apparently Arsenal will 100% have to pay that release clause if they want to land Thomas Partey this summer. In my opinion, just do it, because he's probably one of the best holding midfielders in Europe right now. If we want to try to get back into the Champions League, he'll be someone who could allow us to do that, and someone, if he can partner up against someone like Granit Xhaka, you can make Granit Xhaka even better, especially against Dani Ceballos. Dani Ceballos is actually quite young, and he could help him as well. So someone like Thomas Partey would be so useful, and I made many videos on him, so I'm not going to go too into depth for what he can do. You can watch my previous videos for that. That is the news that we have to pay the full release clause for Thomas Partey. Next bit of news is on Hassan Aouar, and apparently Man City, Juventus and Arsenal are interested in Hassan Aouar. According to L'Equipe, they claim that Arsenal, City and Juventus all retain an interest in the 22-year-old French attacking midfielder Hassan Aouar, who will face the latter side this is before Juventus played Lyon in the Champions League. Now we know that Lyon have beaten Juventus to go to the next round, so he is a quality player, and Pep Guardiola apparently adores the player but elects to sign Ferran Torres instead of Hassan Aouar. But Man City are still active in the transfer window and they still may make a move for Hassan Aouar. Olympique Lyonnais are seeking to earn at least 60 million euros in order to part with the player, but in the COVID market that could be tricky. The teams that are interested are waiting until the end of the Champions League. Obviously Lyon are still in the Champions League, so that will rumble on a bit more to know how they intend to operate in the market, especially teams like Man City, Juventus. Obviously Juventus are now out now, but Man City will just see how much funds they have, especially how deep they go in the Champions League will rely on how many funds they do have. So apparently it will be around 60 million pounds for Hassan Aouar. I think he's a very good player, and Hassan Aouar is under contract with Olympique Lyonnais until 2023, and he's been a key in pivotal moments for 1920, and especially during the Champions League campaign, as they have just passed a Juventus on away goals. A major performance, again, as I said, it says here a major performance against Juventus tonight will boost his market value, which obviously they passed Juventus, so it will boost his market value. So you're probably looking towards 70 million euros, and he is a quality player, and I just don't think we'll be signing this player. I think someone like Philippe Coutinho will be up there just because of the client links and because he will be a loan deal, so it'll be a bit cheaper for Arsenal to get done. But the rumours are out there. Arsenal are apparently interested in Hassan Aouar. We're just going to quickly look at some of his stats, because I think looking at stats will help us understand what kind of player he is. Apparently he can play CDM as well. Sorry, not CDM, but he can play that sort of CM role in the middle of the park, maybe like that kind of box-to-box player. He's played 6 out of 8 games in the Champions League with 3 assists and 1 goal, with 84% pass accuracy and 69 touches per match, with 12 tackles, 52% of them won, 112 deals with 51% of the won, and 57% aerial deals won. So he's quite good in the air as well. 1 clearances, 1 block shot and 3 interceptions. So he is a very good player, Hassan Aouar, and he could very much improve our team. But are we going to fork out 60-70 million pounds for Hassan Aouar? Again, I'm not sure. Lille like to have their money up front, so I just don't think this is going to happen. But the news is out there that Arsenal are interested in Hassan Aouar. The last bit of news relates around a potential departure, and that is of Ainsley Maitland-Niles. A few days ago, we did report that Brighton were interested in Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and apparently Arsenal have put a price tag on him and have put him up for sale, as Arsenal put Ainsley Maitland-Niles on transfer list for £30 million in desperate bid to raise cash for Arteta rebuild. Arteta put Ainsley Maitland-Niles up for sale in a desperate bid to raise cash just days after he helped them win the FA Cup. He has been a pivotal part in the semi-final and final, and he has become the high-profile casualty of Gunners' post-COVID cost-cutting exercise, which have seen them make 55 staff members redundant. Arsenal are looking for bids in around £30 million for the versatile midfielder and wing-back, as they look to try and scramble funds to finance a rebuilding programme under boss Mikel Arteta. The decision will come as a shock to many who saw the 22-year academy products as an important figure in the club's future moving forward. He made 32 appearances for Arsenal last season, including 9 following the restart of the season, so he was clearly highly thought of Arteta. We did have a few attitude problems, but those look to be ironed out, and he's put his head down and he's done really well, especially against Man City. He did really well against Mahrez. The Spanish boss even decided to start him in the FA Cup final, which shows a lot from Mikel Arteta. It shows how highly thought of he is and how Arteta does trust the player even still after his attitude problems. But apparently Arteta does want to keep the player, but obviously Arsenal do need to try and raise some funds. But yeah, apparently Arteta's been told he needs to cash in on some players to help finance the new contract for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, as well as bringing in new faces over the close season. With the likes of Socrates and Mustafi not commanding much value in the transfer market, has been decided that Maitland-Niles needs to be sacrificed to bring in some decent money now. Yeah, again, I see why they're saying that. If they're going to try and bring in the likes of Coutinho, Willian, try finance Aubameyang's contract, they do need to sell players. But I just don't think, why is Ainsley Maitland-Niles? Why not sell someone like Kolasinac, who can get probably £20 million for? I do believe, if teams in Germany do come after him. So I just think, why Ainsley Maitland-Niles? He's so versatile on the left back, right back, right wing back. He can play right wing, he can play centre mid. He's so versatile, he can play anywhere, and he'll really help us, try and get gaps fixed if we need it because of injury. Yes, we're bringing Willian in the right wing position, but he could help us in those defensive areas, especially Bellerin being so inconsistent. So yeah, that is the news that Ainsley Maitland-Niles has reported being put in the transfer list for £30 million. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know this is a bit short than usual, but hopefully you guys have still enjoyed. Sorry about the audio as well, I just don't have my mic on me. So thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.